Hello, everyone!
Thank you so much for being here with me today.
In this talk, I will act as a TED speaker, standing on the famous Red TED stage, to share a story that is very personal and very important. This is a simplified version, so it will be easier for people who are learning English to understand. Today's topic is depression and mental health. It is about what it feels like to live with depression, why it is so hard to talk about, and why we need to break the silence and help each other. This story comes from a real TED Talk by a young comedian who opened up about his own struggle. I hope this version helps you follow along, learn new words, and feel inspired to care for yourself and the people around you. Now let's listen to his story together. For a long time in my life, I felt like I was living two different lives. There is the life that everyone can see, and then there is the life that only I can see. In the life that everyone sees, I am a friend, a son, a brother, a stand-up comedian, and a teenager.
That is the life people see. If you asked my friends and my family to describe me, that is what they would say.
And that is a big part of me. That is really who I am. And if you asked me to describe myself, I would probably say some of those same things. I would not be lying, but I would not be telling the whole truth either. Because the truth is, that is only the life that other people see. In the life that only I see, who I really am is someone who struggles a lot with depression. I have struggled with depression for the last 6 years of my life, and I still struggle with it every day. Now, for someone who has never felt depression or does not really know what it is, it might be surprising to hear this. Many people have a wrong idea that depression is just feeling sad when something bad happens in your life, like when you break up with your girlfriend, when you lose someone you love, or when you do not get the job you really wanted. But that is not depression. That is sadness. Sadness is normal. It is a normal human feeling. Real depression is not feeling sad because something bad happened in your life.
Real depression is feeling sad when everything in your life is actually going well.
And to be totally honest, it is hard for me to stand here and say this. It is hard for me to talk about it.
It seems to be hard for everyone to talk about too.
So much so that no one is talking about it. No one is talking about depression.
But we need to talk about it, because right now it is a huge problem. It is a really big problem. But we do not see it on social media, right?
We do not see it on Facebook. We do not see it on Twitter. We do not see it on the news because it is not happy. It is not fun. It is not light. And because we do not see it, we do not see how serious it is.
But the seriousness of it is this. Every 30 seconds, somewhere in the world, someone takes their own life because of depression.
It might be 2 blocks away. It might be 2 countries away. It might be 2 continents away.
But it is happening, and it is happening every single day. Well, 2 years ago, it was my problem, because I sat on the edge of my bed where I had sat many times before, and I felt suicidal. I was thinking about ending my life.
If you looked at my life from the outside, you would not see a boy who wanted to die.
You would see a boy who was the captain of his basketball team, the best drama and theater student of the year, the best English student of the year, someone who was always on the honor roll and always at every party.
So you would think I was not depressed.
You would think I was not suicidal.
But you would be wrong.
You would be wrong.
So that night, I sat there with a bottle of pills beside me and a pen and paper in my hand. I thought about taking my own life, and I came very close to doing it. I came so close,
but I did not do it, so that makes me one of the lucky ones.
I am one of the people who gets to stand on the edge and look down, but does not jump.
I am one of the lucky ones who stays alive.
Well, I survived, and now I have my story. And my story is this. In 4 simple words, I suffer from depression. I suffer from depression, and for a long time, I felt like I was living 2 totally different lives, where one person was always afraid of the other. I was afraid that people would see the real me, that I was not the perfect popular kid in high school everyone thought I was. Beneath my smile, there was struggle. Beneath my light, there was darkness. And behind my big personality, there was even bigger pain. See, some people are afraid that girls will not like them back. Some people are afraid of sharks. Some people are afraid of death. But for me, for a big part of my life, I was afraid of myself. I was afraid of my truth. I was afraid to be honest. I was afraid to show that I was weak. This fear made me feel like I was stuck in a corner. I felt like I had no way out. So, I thought about ending my life every single day. I thought about it every day. And if I am being honest, standing here today, I have thought about it again sometimes. Because that is the sickness. That is the struggle. That is depression. Depression is not like chickenpox. You do not get it once and then never again. It is something you live with. It is something you live in. It is like a roommate you cannot kick out. It is a voice you cannot ignore. It is the feelings you cannot run away from. The scariest part is that after some time, you feel numb to it. It feels normal for you. And what you really fear the most is not the pain inside you. It is the shame you feel from other people. It is the embarrassment. It is the look on a friend's face when they do not understand. It is the whispers in the hallway that say you are weak. It is the comments that say you are crazy. That is what keeps you from asking for help. That is what makes you hide it. It is the stigma. So you keep it inside and you hide it. You keep it inside and you hide it, even when it keeps you in bed every day. It makes your life feel empty, no matter how much you try to fill it. But you still hide it because of the stigma. If you think there is no stigma, ask yourself this. Would you rather write on Facebook that you have trouble getting out of bed because you hurt your back? Or that you have trouble getting out of bed because you are depressed? That is the stigma. Sadly, we live in a world where if you break your arm, everyone runs to sign your cast. But if you tell people you are depressed, everyone runs away. It is like people accept every part of us breaking down, except our brains. That is ignorance. That is pure ignorance. And that ignorance has made a world that does not understand depression. It does not understand mental health. This is strange to me, because depression is one of the best known problems in the world. But it is one of the least talked about. We just push it to the side and hide it in a corner. We hope it will fix itself. But it will not. It has not, and it will not, because that is just wishful thinking. And wishful thinking is not a plan. It is just procrastination, and we cannot procrastinate on something this important. The first step to solve any problem is to see that there is one. Well, we have not done that yet. So we cannot really expect to find an answer when we are still afraid of the question. And I do not know what the solution is. I wish I did, but I do not. But I think it has to start here. It has to start with me. It has to start with you. It has to start with the people who are suffering, the ones who are hiding in the shadows. We need to speak up and break the silence. We need to be the ones who are brave enough to stand up for what we believe in. Because if there is one thing I have come to see, if there is one thing I think is the biggest problem, it is not just about building a world where we remove the ignorance of others. It is about building a world where we learn to accept ourselves. We need to be okay with who we are. Because when we get honest, we see that we all struggle. We all suffer. Whether it is with this or with something else, we all know what it feels like to hurt. We all know what it feels like to have pain in our heart. We all know how important it is to heal. But right now, depression is like a deep cut in our society. We just put a Band-Aid on it and pretend it is not there. But it is there. And you know what?
That is okay.
Depression is okay. If you are going through it, know that you are okay. Know that you are sick, not weak. It is an issue, not who you are. Because when you get past the fear, the jokes, the judgment, and the shame from other people, you can see depression for what it really is. It is just a part of life. And as much as I hate some of the places and times depression has pulled me down, in many ways, I am thankful for it.
Because yes, it has put me in deep valleys, but only to show me that there are high peaks too. Yes, it has pulled me through the dark, but only to remind me there is light. My pain, more than anything in my 19 years on this earth, has given me perspective.
My hurt has made me have hope. Hope and faith. Faith in myself.
Faith in other people. Faith that it can get better.
Faith that we can change this, that we can speak up, speak out, and fight back against ignorance. Fight back against hate, and more than anything, learn to love ourselves. Learn to accept ourselves for who we are. The people we really are, not the people the world wants us to be. Because the world I believe in is one where you can show your light and still not hide your dark. A world where both can live together. A world where the people who need help can ask for it. A world where the people who give help do it with love. A world where we look at each other and say, I see you. I see all of you. The good parts and the hard parts. And I still choose to stand with you.
That is the world I want to help build.
That is the world I hope we can all build together. So, if you are struggling, know that you are not alone. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are human. And you are loved. Thank you so much for listening until the end. I hope this simple version of the TED Talk helps you understand more about depression and why we should never be afraid to talk about it. If you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to my channel to watch more easy English TED Talks like this. Take care of yourself and each other. See you next time. Bye-bye.